Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and Hart fans. Welcome to the 2024 Hart Cross Country Media Day. I'm your host, Hart correspondent Rich Linden. Next up for Hart Media Day are the Baker Wildcats. Head coach Bobby Breon joins us, as well as two outstanding student athletes, Anthony Davis and Jana Landreth. Coach, athletes, how are things in Baldwin City right now?
They're a little warm, but other than that, it's been great. We've been around since what, August 10th. These guys have been working really hard, and it's kind of
Wow.
fun to watch them do their thing. So,
Well, that's amazing. So, Coach, I'm going to start with you. You've been there 2 weeks already,
yeah.
grinding out. How's training going so far? How's preseason? How's the Baldwin Golf Course treating you? And how are you handling this heat and humidity?
Well, we handle the heat and humidity by going in the morning. So I make them wake up early now. So some of them like it, some of them don't, but it keeps us out of that heat. But we've been out on the golf course and it's in great shape. So we've been getting some good workouts in. They've all got some good miles on them right now. I've been loving what I'm seeing at practice. I've been liking to see how this team's been interacting together. We're just having a whole lot of fun so far. You know, we gotta enjoy ourselves. We're putting in the work so we can get ready for this season.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Coach, introduce us to these two student athletes. Tell us about them and what kind of impact they have on the men's and women's teams.
Well, I got Anthony here. He's my super senior, so he's been with me longer than about anybody else now. He's been running as our number one, and he does a good job of setting an example from his work ethic and kind of dragging everybody along and helping with that race aspect. He's one of the guys that can say, "Hey, don't let anybody pass you. I need you setting the tone on the first mile." And he gets them out smart, and then he tends to find out way to outrace them like that. And then I got Jana, who going in junior year now just keeps getting stronger and stronger and faster and faster. And now that I've learned some things about how she moves, she keeps getting even faster now. So I love the
Wow.
attitude that she brings, and she's a great leader on the program, whether she thinks she is or not. She does a great job of leading by example, and she gets vocal when she needs to. So that's what I love having these two around with me for.
I
So
love it. Well, Jana, let's start with you. Cross country is so tough. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? And how did you get into competitive racing? And what is it that you love so much about cross country?
Oh boy. Well, I'm from Baldwin City, Kansas, so I'm a
Okay.
townie. I've been here since I was 10 or 11. I went to Baker, I think first of all because it was close. I really
yeah.
liked, but of course I really liked the program and I love the coaches and the girls when meeting them, like they were great. I just loved it. It was like love at first sight. Running has just been kind of a thing I've just been doing forever since I was little. I did a lot of other sports too, but I feel like running was just a thing that kind of stuck with me. So,
That's what you love. So when did you start actually running distance?
ooh, probably in junior high, I think
Okay.
competitively. Like when I was younger, I did a lot of those other sports and then those little fun 5Ks every once in a while. So,
Oh, fun 5Ks. I don't hear that often, except at Cross Country Media Day. Okay. So, Anthony, going to kick to
Yeah.
you. Race day, season's kicking off. What is your favorite part about race days in general?
My favorite part's the end of the race, really, and I mean that for a couple of reasons. I mean, even though I'm fifth year, super senior, like Coach said, so I've been through a couple of races. I don't think the nerves that you feel before the race ever go away, but just kind of learn to control them. But it's always like you're on the line. I'm just thinking about, man, this is gonna feel so good when I finish this, especially being with a PR. You have like a good team performance. It's always a great feeling. You just get that, you hear the term runner's high.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I can really define what a runner's high is, but it's something that I definitely feel after a race. You just feel so sociable. You want to talk to everybody. You want to congratulate everybody. So I just love that post-race feeling and just the feeling of putting in like a good effort. All your training comes to fruition right there. So that's my favorite part about
Well,
racing.
kind of what you're saying. It's that individual high of PRs, but then the team aspect too, being
Mhm.
there with those teammates and experiencing all that together. Hey, AK, that's insane, man. What is the toughest part of the AK? Is there a particular mile that's the toughest to get through mentally, physically?
I mean, ideally, you want it all to feel the same. When I started racing 8Ks, it was like, every freshman, maybe some of our freshmen on the team will learn this lesson the hard way, but you go out your first mile, way too fast. And then those miles, 3, 4 are really going to hurt. And then that fifth mile usually just takes care of itself. That's what coach always says, or really the last part of any race will take care of itself. But
Cool.
It can be a mental drain, but I mean, the good thing about cross country compared to the track is I started running 10Ks last year. So I kind of hope the 8K will feel easy now that I've gone higher. But, at least during a track, you get some scenery to look at. Baldwin City Golf Course, or excuse me, on a cross country course, you get some scenery to look at. Baldwin City Golf Course has its pretty spots. You got to,
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful run. Jenna, we talk about the men running 8Ks, but this is the second year now. The women's race has extended from 5K to 6K. What's that doing to the women's competitive racing? And do you love it? Does the team love it? Do you hate it? Tell us a little bit about that.
Honestly, whenever they told us we were going to be doing 6Ks, I was not very happy. I mean, you think about it, it's really only an extra 1K, and while you're racing it, it just feels like an extra 1K. I don't know if necessarily I've changed a whole lot about how I race just because it's an extra K. But I've really liked it so far, actually. I think the most difficult part is that not all races are the 6K. So changing from that 5K to 6K back and forth sometimes gets a little bit tricky. But
I would think that'd be tricky. Mentally preparing for it, your pacing, all of that stuff would be a challenge, huh?
sometimes. But speaking for myself, I just kind of run until I get to the finish line, I guess.
Just go. Well, Coach, you're a Baker, a Wildcat. You competed there. You coach there now.
Yeah.
You hold several school records.
Yeah.
How cool is it to have an opportunity to coach these athletes? And how does it feel when they're breaking your records?
Hey man, records are made to be broken. I just got lucky that I've got to coach everybody that's broken most of mine. So, the funny thing is with Baker, it's had the same atmosphere since my parents were here back in the 70s. You just kind of see it evolve and grow, but getting to see what these athletes do in the classroom, especially as on the cross country course, they make me proud when I see their grades pop up. But I absolutely love having them come to practice. And when we get out there and we get to compete, doesn't matter if it was their best race or not. I just enjoy being around watching the effort come out. One of the things that we work on is kind of like what Jana was saying. She just runs till the end. That's because we want them to race. I don't really care how far they're going, and to see them all kind of embrace that and figure it out. Just seeing the joy they have when their teammates do well, when they do well, when the whole teams do well. You get men's and women's programs cheering for each other. Just the interactions with everybody. It's just fun. It makes me like waking up at 3:30 in the morning so I can get ready to come out here.
My
We're done with that
goodness.
when we switch to afternoon practices. But for now, I don't mind because I'm coming to see these guys. So
Right on. Well, Coach, the season, cross country season, it blows my mind. It's so long. It's a grind. How do you keep the team fresh? How do you keep them engaged from August all the way through to November?
well, I mean, the race schedule helps a little bit with that. Find them some fun places they get to go so they get a little bit excited about it. But the nice thing is our women's team, they're like a bunch of sisters running around together. And same thing, the guys are like a bunch of brothers, and half of them are in the same fraternity anyway. So they kind of keep each other entertained. I tell them all the same thing. My idea of fun is putting in the hard work and then seeing it manifest on race day, because I'm weird like that. But we still throw into things. Like I say, they got to laugh at least a couple of times at practice, keeping them focused like there. But mainly got to listen to their bodies. I fully believe in communication with my athletes. If they're feeling something off, then we're going to make an adjustment. I need them feeling as fresh and healthy mentally and physically as possible, because they've got a lot coming at them. I mean, it'd be one thing if they were just out running, right? But they've got classes they got to be in. And, Baker's not exactly easy in the classroom. So just helping them kind of manage their way through that mental and physical stress, and adjusting when I need to, giving them their little downtime when they need it. I like having them. I like when they get to have a little free time and they get to enjoy each other without me hovering over them too. So, but the main thing is we got to have a little bit of fun while we're putting in that work. But the beauty of it is we set the goal early on. They know what they're going after, so that tends to help with that focus as we get going through there.
Well, let's go there, Anthony.
Yeah.
Talk about the team. What are some things you do when the team's not racing, not prepping? What are some of the things you do, team bonding and to build that sense of family? What do you guys do?
Well, I tell you what, it's kind of a weird answer. We're a big coffee house. I mean, and Baldwin City, it's great for what it is. I'm not trying to disrespect Jana's hometown or anything, but there's not a whole lot going on here all the time, So what we do have, we really take advantage of it. We have a coffee shop here called 133. So it's always almost every day. It's honestly very financially detrimental, but we go get coffee just about every day. You know, not the same group of guys every single time, but we go grab a cup of coffee,
Yeah.
you know, talk, joke around a lot, talk about the season, training, all that stuff. So
Yeah.
that's always fun to do. And like Coach said, like almost all of us except like the freshman and one guy all live in the exact same house. So we're always around each other. It's like,
Cool.
and
Yeah.
one thing that one of my teammates, Luke, brought up to my attention that kind of blew my mind is we had our first day that wasn't actually in preseason camp was, I think, like last Saturday or something. So it was like the first day we didn't have to meet for mandatory team stuff, but we were still all in the houses in like the front room, just like watching baseball, hanging out. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of crazy. We've been with each other for 2 weeks nonstop, and we're still hanging out. So it feels like way more than the team to me. So
That is super cool. So, Jenna, I've got a question for you. Do you have a favorite cross country course or race that you really look forward to competing at throughout the season?
Oh boy.
I know.
Well, I like Baldwin, but going to high school here, I think I've ran it at least 50 times now.
Right.
It gets a little repetitive. Having the 6K at Baldwin's course is nice. I kind of liked that last year. I think overall Ottawa has a course and I can't remember what it's called. And I don't know if it's Ottawa University or if it's for the high school course, but it's hilly, but you go straight up and then it just is flat for the rest of it. And then all the hills are just up and you never get that downhill, which sounds terrible. But having that I don't know, shared pain with all of your competitors is kind of fun. I just really like that course. I only ran it once, but I liked it.
Cool.
It's like,
Well,
like,
I've loved and like just hanging out with the three of you. You got me pumped up for the season, ready for Wildcats to go and show in the heart as we progress. So thanks for being here today. Thanks for taking the time out of your training and classes starting and all that to share it with Baker fans and the Heart faithful. Can't wait to see what you do throughout the season, man. Good luck.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
thank you.